Hey everybody, it's me John, also known as 54 News Star, and also on the Gamer Edge channel. Today I'll be walking you through how to create a low poly automatic shotgun, low poly gun for your games using the Blender engine, Unity engine, Unreal engine. I won't be detailing the game engine part, I'll be detailing the asset creation. So we're going to go through modeling it, adding details to it, and then texturing it. Okay, let's get started. Right now, we're in Blender, and we have a background image. To get that background image, you're going to go to View, Background Image, and it will pop up this little box. Now we're going to say, see a little file. You're going to pop that open, and then just click on an image. So I have an image right here. Select image, and it's going to show it right here. It's actually going to say like somewhere around the 50s. So you're going to partway see. You want to actually see it in 0, and actually you want this to be all zeros. And then size will be 5. It's going to have probably zoomed out, so you actually want to zoom in. The image is pretty big. You just kind of zoomed out so you can see the whole thing. And then you're going to have a couple of views depending on your gun model. You may just have, a side view or a top-down side view or something like that. I chose this model sheet because it gives me some points on the gun. It gives me a basic side view, and then it gives me a front angled view and then a back angled view, so that I can go in, zoom in, and see what type of detail they actually have on the gun. So okay, let's get started. There's two ways to model this gun. You can model the whole thing, or you can model it in piece and parts. Okay, we're going to model it in piece and parts because then I want to show you another program where I can move, even if it's low poly, like say, some people consider 18,000, the 20,000, verts or triangles, whatever, to be low poly. Other people don't. Depends on what type of games you're making, what type of engine you're in. I'm going to take a gun that I consider, still low poly, but may have some, too many triangles in it. And we're going to put it in a program called Balancer Light that you can use, and it will convert a high poly into a low poly triangle. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to take a mesh, and then we're going to go to cylinder. I'm going to choose 10 vertices. It's going to be default 32, but I'm going to choose 10 because again we want this to be a low poly model game asset. I'm going to zoom in so I can get more specific details on the size and where it starts and where I should end. Now if you notice right over here, we're going to actually move over to the next screen. Okay, if I can. Here we go. If you see it right here, it has this little bump out. Now I'm going to do that too, so I kind of have the same setup. I'm going to size it up, and we're going to extrude it and go all the way down and a little bit further in. Now we're going to add a okay, real quick guys, don't have it selected to where you can see all these little dots. Don't, else the model will be attached to that. What you want to do is have it in a solid line, add mesh cube. And if you can't understand me, sorry guys, I have braces on. Okay, we're now going to zoom in again and place this cube in a general area and then modify it so it does look up like a part of the mesh. So we're gonna move it there and move that piece right there. It's not rounded yet, but we're gonna get to that at the end process. And as you can see, it is a bit bumped out, so we're gonna do that too. We're now gonna move this to a top view, mesh, top view, which will change things a bit. We're going to extrude side Y, and we're going to extrude it just a bit, and then we're going to go E and go straight that way. Go back to front, grab it, and we're going to place this one right here. We're going to place this one right here, and then we're going to extrude it again. Just to make sure it holds that shape. Now we're going to subdivide. So we have a little space around where the ammo case is going to be. Then extrude. Rotate it a bit so it's level. Just move it back right over the gun case, extrude, and go right there. Okay. And every once in a while you want to get out of the side view and then check how well the model is doing so you don't have it messed up. Okay, we're going to subdivide again, grab, move it right there so we have this piece right here, extrude, go right there. Okay, now we're going to get out so we see it's kind of blocky right now, but we're not finished quite yet. We're going to go back to front view, and now we have a couple more pieces. We have this piece right here, the aiming piece, and then we have the butt of the gun, or the end of the gun, and then you have the finger grip, and then you have the actual ammo case. So we're going to work on the butt of the gun. And we're going to start at this end. So we don't get a whole bunch of triangles right here because you start subdividing. You will get a whole bunch of triangles, so I'm gonna stop that so I can, and I'm just gonna manually, set this up. Rotate it a bit. Move it back down. Zoom in again because one of our vertices is a little bit out. And then grab this one. Go up a bit. Extrude. And then grab it so it fits all the way up. So it's very nice and smooth. We don't have a whole bunch of triangles or squares at the moment. Okay, so we're going to stop right there and get this edge piece. Okay, we're good right there. And now I'm going to select this whole area. And then I'm going to extrude it and make sure it goes to the right. And then go again and hand place all the vertices. Okay, that one's good right there, but the one right on top of it is not. So we're going to model it so it fits right there. That one's going right up here. Actually, this one could go a bit higher. And we're going to stretch this one till we get to a almost straight point. And then we're going to do the upper portion of the gun, and we're going to go down here, do the little finger bit, and then we're going to do a totally new piece right here. And then it's end with the actual ammo case, and then we're going to again go back and go over the gun for any errors. Now in rounded areas, even though you want to go for a low poly, you still want to spend quite a bit of vertices and triangles getting those out, because if they look if they look like you can see the angles, I mean, people understand it's low poly. They get a game that they know has low poly assets in it, but they still don't expect to see. They don't want to see huge triangles. They want to see something that looks real, or at least looks very cool. So you want to spend enough triangles and vertices to make sure that you have what it takes. Here's one thing that I keep saying to all my viewers. Even though you have the ability to spend, okay, for a model, let's just say you have a game model and your budget for that particular game model is, say, 10, 20, okay, solid 30,000, vertices, triangles, whatever. Let's just say 30,000 triangles. Since the invention of normal maps, specular maps, bump maps, sure, you can spend, 30,000, triangles, vertices, whatever, on that character. He's not going to be that great in the actual game engine. It will, unless you got some sort of hardcore computer. Even, the i7s and all that stuff have a breaking point, and it will, run down and freeze. So, also not everybody's got a super dank computer, but the main reason is, since we do have normal maps, specular maps, we often use them. So, okay, you have the ability to use 30,000, say, triangles. You model the character, and what he needs to be modeled with is 10 to 15,000. So you have, all the rounded areas are rounded. All the feet are done, the hands are done, and it's 15,000 triangles. You were given a budget of 30,000, but once you put the normal maps, the specular maps on, and texture maps, the color maps on, and all that stuff, you're 15,000 less than what you need. Why use anything more? I mean, especially in these games where you're working on Android, iOS, even Sony released a comment saying that hey, we're allowing indie games on our consoles. Now, I think that was just for PlayStation 4, but that could reach up to the PlayStation Vita, their handheld consoles. If you have a budget for so many triangles, why use more when you can use just what you need? Not low poly, not mid poly, not high poly, but just as needed poly, so you can move those triangles or vertices or whatever polygons into another scene. Because that 15,000 could be, oh shoot, we can't add to this scene because it's in that main character, or that that non-player character that's just walking around. Well, you can then say, hey, we do have those because I'm 15,000 triangles under the mark, and everybody's looking at the character and saying, you did a great job. You did it without adding any more. You went under the budget. It still looks awesome. We can't tell the difference. And so, okay, we can add this extra stuff to this scene. I mean that's just one example. For that, you may need all 30,000 triangles to create that character. You may not. You may need more. But I'm just saying, in this era where everybody's saying high poly, I want so much detail, people are losing the fact that, you only need 15,000 triangles to make that character, and you're making them in 100,000. Seriously, you don't need that many. So people are saying, I want a bigger computer, I want a more high-tech stuff, when actually you could just get by with what you have. Okay, now we're going to make this finger grip. And then I'm going to extrude it. And then I can then make it specific to the game model. Alrighty, and then let's do this piece up here, and that should be really simple. Let's just grab it over here, size it down, move up so we can see everything. And then let's start working on this hand. Let's just check out. Okay, we're good. It does look blocky. We're going to fix that real soon. We're almost done. Okay, let's go to front. Add another mesh. Cube. Okay, now we're going to work on, zoom up a bit. Let's select this, and then we're going to put it, one moment, put that right here. Put that right there. Move this one right here. Grab this guy and put him right here. Okay, then there's one thing I want to check. I want to see what exactly they've done to the arm. Extrude it right here. Grab it so it's right here. And pull this guy up, and then we're gonna have to do some at least one or two of these subdivides. Okay, only one. Okay, and that looks pretty good. It does look large. We're gonna fix that. We're gonna go to front view, but first I want to work on this ammo section right here. Okay, so as you can see, I'm gonna actually use a cylinder for this, but I'm gonna check how many vertices it has. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 12. We're gonna mesh and cylinder. We're gonna go to 12. We're gonna rotate this guy, and we're just gonna put him right here. Okay. Now I'm gonna open up another 3D screen right here, and all you do is just click right screen split area. And I'm gonna see what I'm doing over here. A cylinder's not gonna. It would be easy doing a cylinder, but I think I'll do it. Mesh. Cube, as always, I'll do it in a cube. We're gonna grab this guy from right here. And then right about here. Center and move it right. I have to fix something real quick. Okay, I gotta move it right here. Use this as a guideline. I'm gonna extrude it. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, now let's do some cleanup. Okay, let's... A little bit large, so let's begin. Let's move it to a solid state. Move this part and let's minimize it so it's just meeting the others. Okay, that's good. And I want to see the image, so I just know how thin to put it. Looks like it thins down over here, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to go to front view. I'm going to switch back over to wireframe so I can select stuff. Solid view so I can see how much it's going. Okay, looks good. Actually going to subdivide this. Even though it will increase this stuff, I'm going to be able to, minimize those and select this. And then it looks like it goes in just a bit, so I'm going to do that over here. I'm actually going to select these, extrude, size it down, extrude again, go in just a little bit. And I'm going to reselect it. I'm going to see how this looks. Is that still in there? Okay, it is just about. Okay, and this is, the whole thing is about 1042 faces and 878 vertices. That is low poly. One problem is, okay, I'm going to move this to the second scene so we don't mess up that piece. I'm actually going to have to fix it a little bit more. Okay, we're going to... is just size this down just a bit and go back to front view, wireframe, and then solid view. And actually, I'm gonna actually minimize, or take everything and just make it thinner just a little bit. Okay, and now I'm gonna bring in the ammo drum and see what that does. Okay, I have to size down the ammo clip mouth just a bit. Okay, that looks... one moment, we do have a problem. Have to view selected. Okay, that's rounded. Okay, that looks pretty good. So what we're going to do is I'm going to move this piece over to layer 2. And then I'm going to actually duplicate it so I can show you different variations, and then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to this one. Okay, I'm going to join selected. I mean, so join all the individual parts into one piece. Here we go, and we're going to click tab, we're going to select the whole thing, click W, and then hit bevel. So it smooths it out. We do have some problems. One problem with this is that it will kind of mess up your mesh. That's why I like creating one whole solid object. And that's what we're going to do next. But one way to fix some of this stuff up is, and let's go to wireframe. Move that over here. I mean, it didn't deform it extremely bad. It did add a whole bunch of poly count to it. So what we're actually going to do is I'm going to move this into another program and show you what it does in there. So I'm going to export it, and then we're going to export it over to desktop, and I'm going to say gun file export selection only export. Okay, now we're going to go to balancer light, which is a real cool program. We're going to go file, and we're going to go open, and I'm just going to go run file. As you can see it in here. I'm going to hit view wireframe. It may be hard to see. Let's hit vertices. As you can see, we have a huge amount of vertices over in this part of the gun. So what I'm going to do is build, and at once it builds a low poly version of the gun. Now this is like Quake 1, literally. So we're going to actually allow more vertices. As you can see, it starts, to build more and more. And I can manually. So here's max, and I'm going to shrink it down a bit. Until I see some sort of change. I'm going to click this, mesh. Okay, now it built it. It's set to as the one of the states. Okay, and we're gonna see if we can build it any lower. It's way too low. That's decent. That may be a little bit too low. Okay, that looks good. Let's build it like that. Let's bring that all the way up. Build it. And then let's export it. We're going to save. Save. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up another blender to show you what that one looks like. And then I'm going to compare the sizes between the two models. we're going to import obj, and we're going to go to desktop, and we're going to go to gun, reduced, import, okay, select it, center new, view selected, and then we're going to set it as an object. Okay, here it is. We're going to set it to smooth. Click tab, and we have 1,000 vertices, 103 vertices, and we're going to view the other one. 3,728 vertices. That's a lot. Wow. So that's one way how to model it. As you can see, it does come with some problems, but if you texture right, you go a little more tweaking, you can actually get pretty good. Okay, now we're going to do this again, but we're going to do it in a different way. We're going to build it in one huge solid block. So hopefully I will see you in the next part where we're actually going to do that. Bye guys.